All right, Gold Member. Don't play the laughing boy. There are only two things I can't stand in this world. People who are intolerant of other people's cultures and the Dutch.
What?
Liverpool win 1-0 away. And the context around that win has been thrown in my face at least 100 times in the last 24 hours. Are you saying that you haven't been seeing or you have been? I'm seeing people gas up this performance in any possible way that they can. I'm seeing people put context behind how Inter Milan haven't lost at home in the Champions League since 2022, whatever. Those motherfuckers. Those motherfuckers. What? Bro, I'm not here to talk about this. Hey, how we doing? Hey, I'm only repeating the stats that other people are saying. Also, was that at Inter Milan? Was that at the San Siro? There's a lot to say about the game. And hold on. There's a lot of people trying to be positive. I think in an element to look at the result, that's a positive. The result in isolation, if I didn't watch the game, I would say, you know what? If I didn't watch every Liverpool game and I was just a casual fan, I would say, hey, good win. Good win. But if I were to also look at this game and say it was a one-off performance and say, like, you know, we had to win this game to win our season, I would say good performance. You know, if this were a Champions League final, I would say it's the last game of the tournament. You got the job done. But it's December. And every week that passes, my play going forward gets worse. And I've been very consistent in the idea that I don't care about results. I've said many times, that I want to see style of play, patterns of football, 1-2s, off-ball movement, possession, chances, beauty. That's what I want to hear. I'm sorry. That's what I want to see. Something that I can believe in that will be sustainable and consistent going forward. That's where I'm at in December. I'm not thinking about the Champions League final. I'm not thinking about the Premier League title. I'm thinking about how do we play the game. And what I saw yesterday was two teams that sucked the fattest fucking dicks you've ever seen in your life. That was one of the most boring games I've ever watched from both sides. That was so bad that I made the public proclamation. I will never do another watch along for this team. I won't do it. I'm done. I have officially announced my watch along retirement until this man is gone. This is a great point. This is a great point. We had one shot on target in the second half. We had one shot on target inside the box the whole game, and it was Connor Bradley. Connor Bradley had the only shot on target from inside the box the entire game. That's it. Every other shot on target was from outside the box. 2 of them came from one man's brilliance, Curtis Jones. Curtis Jones can hold his head high. I've been calling for this guy to be playing left-sided center mid for weeks, and he took it upon himself. Bang. Created an opportunity. If I was a good team in good form, then I would agree with you. But since I'm a terrible team and the worst team in Europe, I don't agree with you. Also, let's talk a little bit about Inter Milan. Let's talk a little bit about how the fucking fraud Italians played against us. I've listened to what Inter Milan fans had to say about that game. They are disgusted with their team's performance, not with the team's result. First and foremost, Inter Milan were respecting us. Who do you think you are to respect this team, you fucking ignorant cunts? Why the fuck is Inter Milan showing us respect on the ball? Why are they showing us respect in their own possession? Inter Milan somehow played slower than Liverpool with the ball. We packed 9 defenders behind the ball. We sat in a fucking low block. Our press was non-existent for 90% of the game. We had moments where we pressed well, but they were few and far between. But Inter Milan played pragmatic, coward, possession-based football. And the one time where they picked up the pace, the singular time they picked up the pace in that entire game and moved with intent, Lautaro Martinez had a header on target. That was the only time I saw them move the ball with pace to the wing to then cross it right in. Boom. Their only real chance of the game. They approached this like a bunch of morons. It feels a lot like Aston Villa. It feels a lot like Real Madrid, where I'm sitting here and I'm looking at the defensive performance and I'm saying, I don't think that anyone's doing anything special. We're just sitting deep, and they look terrible, the other team. Inter Milan didn't even play to our weaknesses, dude. They didn't overload the wings. They didn't play any long balls. They played 28 long balls. They played as many long balls as Real Madrid did against us. They played one of the fewest amount of long balls against Liverpool. They didn't even play to our weakness. Who's the guy who went down? Çalhanoğlu? Perhaps Çalhanoğlu going down super early affected the team's build-up play, but come on, you don't need one guy to play long ball game. And then ultimately, let's look at the circumstances around the opportunities that Liverpool had. Whether or not that, Konate header was a handball, I don't know, but it did hit his hand. And I know that the Champions League has much different rules than the Premier League, so I get it. But here's what confuses me. If you're going to say that Virgil van Dijk heading the ball into Ekitike's hand is a handball, even though that's impossible for Ekitike to react to, and I felt like his hand was in a somewhat natural position, then why wasn't the handball given for Inter Milan when Bisek shot it directly into Virgil van Dijk's hand? I'm just trying to be fair. If you're going to call Ekitike's a handball, then wouldn't Virgil van Dijk's be also a handball? Just to maintain some sort of consistency, if Ekitike has a handball, then Virgil van Dijk also has a handball. So Inter should have had a penalty before Liverpool. And then, of course, the penalty that was given away to Wirtz. If we had flipped the roles and Virgil van Dijk was holding Lautaro Martinez and that was given against us, Would any of you guys be sitting here saying that's a pen? Please. Anyone. Any one of you. You wouldn't. You wouldn't. You would be fuming. I don't believe you. You would not think it was a penalty. Regardless, it doesn't matter. Soboslai steps up. And as I predicted, he went to the left because guess what? Soboslai has gone to the same exact spot in every single penalty his entire career. Jan Sommer went left and he still couldn't save it. At this point, if Dominic Soboslai takes a penalty and you're the opposition goalkeeper, you're a fucking idiot if you don't save it. You should be cheating left. You should be standing on the left side of the fucking goal. He's going to go left. He's never not gone left in his entire life. I'm not responding to trolls today, but thank you for the comment. Oh, I know. It took them forever. Bro, listen, again, this is how I feel about VAR. VAR is there to overrule clear and obvious errors. If it takes you 5 minutes to review something, it's not clear and obvious, and the call on the field should stand. There should be a time limit. If the VAR wants to look at something, you should have 60 seconds. 60 seconds to look at something, because if it's clear and it's obvious, it shouldn't take you more than 60 seconds to come to that conclusion. 60 seconds later, the referee should be called over, and within 2 minutes, boom. If it takes more than a minute, it's not clear and obvious. And if it's not clear and obvious, then the VAR shouldn't be involved. And whatever the ruling on the field is should stand. That's it. Like that's my opinion on VAR, flat out. Clear and obvious. Otherwise, change the language. That's all I'm saying. Otherwise, change the language. Change the language to VAR is a second referee meant to make another opinion on a phase of play. I already told you. We had one shot on target from inside the box in 97 minutes of football. We had 3 shots on target from outside the box. Only one of them really challenging the goalkeeper. But we did win the game. We did win the game. But does anyone think that we won the game because Mo wasn't on the pitch? Does anyone think that the reason why Liverpool won is because Mohamed Salah didn't travel with the team? Would you guys be sitting here and saying that it was a great performance if we weren't given that penalty? Do you guys think that we would have scored a goal if we weren't given that penalty? Would you have the same energy if we weren't given that penalty? So what you're telling me is that you're hinging your entire opinion on the result based off of a decision made by the referee. Your whole opinion of Liverpool Football Club versus Inter Milan is based off the man in yellow. We didn't use a completely different system. Did anyone actually look at our buildup? Our possession-based play was the same fucking thing that it's been all season. In fact, I saw a greater amount of space between the back line and the front line. I saw a front 4 in possession. I saw a midfield pivot of 2 that made no sense, that didn't help the buildup. I saw Konate being forced to go long. I mean, again, you can go back, you can watch the watch along. I'm sitting there and I'm giving my reaction to how we're playing. Our possession-based style didn't change a second. Staffy, suck the fattest bag of dicks. I don't want to fucking hear it from you today. Ashhadu Allah, fuck yourself. Yo, you know what this fucking asshole did today? This anti-Semitic piece of shit was sitting in his Jeep and saw an Israel flag and just took a video of it and sent it to me as though I'm Israeli. I'm not Israeli, and I don't give a fuck about Israel. Fuck yourself, pussy. Hey, no one here is allowed to talk shit to Staffy except me because I actually know Staffy, okay? Water, I appreciate you, but shh, shh. Free everybody, all right? Free everybody. Free Nigeria, free Sudan, free Yemen, free them all. I'm not being negative, I'm being realistic. Like, what can I take as a positive from that game to Brighton? Brighton are not gonna play like Inter Milan. I didn't see my hairline's good, all right, bro? I have a hairline. I have a thick fucking skull, thick head of hair. Gives a fuck what other people say. Cooking with what comment? Who the fuck is Saeed? It's not receding, you fucking cuck. I don't have a receding hairline, you piece of shit, motherfucker. I'm trying to decide if I should wait to shave my beard until Arnie Slot gets sacked, but at that point, it's gonna be like out to here, you know? It's gonna be like fucking August. It's gonna be like August. Um, Another reason why I'm taking a retirement from watch alongs is I want to be able to record the games because I'm tired of having to sit here and say the same thing every week. I need to be able to show evidence every time. In fact, let me go to Twitter and let me see if I can find any tweets of the actual fucking football. Oh, Indy Calia says Liverpool transfer bomb at 3 p.m. Oh, oh. Apparently, Liverpool has agreed personal terms with Antoine Semenyo, and City have matched the offer. Semenyo's supposed to save us and be the fucking Mohamed Salah evolution. Bro, fuck this team, dude. Fuck these absolute fucking morons. If we get rid of Mo this season and we don't win the lot, what's the point? I'm not here for views, brother. But hang on one second. I just have to text Jerry something. I still can't believe you were happy. And then I just had to text James. I love telling people what I think, you know? I always gotta make sure they know. I ain't going anywhere. I ain't changing up my tune off of one motherfucking win. I ain't changing my motherfucking tune. All right? I stay consistent. I stay consistent. I stay consistent. Liverpool. I don't know what the fuck this means. This isn't proper English. Here's what people are saying. They're calling it a professional performance. Brother, we're not in a position to have professional performances. The fuck you smoking, dude? Here's the thing. we're going to win this game against Inter, and then we're not going to beat Brighton, and everyone's just going to sit there with their hands on their fucking head and their thumbs up their ass. They're going to be like, what's going on? What's happening? How could we beat Inter but lose to Brighton? And now we see the people give this excuse. This is my new favorite excuse. We're already terminal. So they're using my terminology that I used 8 fucking weeks ago, but they're saying we're already terminal, so I don't expect to see good football. I'm sorry, brother. I could be a terminal patient, still want to live as much as I can. Just because I know I'm going to die doesn't mean that I don't want to continue living. Does that make sense? You tell me I'm terminal, I'm going to tell you, excuse me, sir, do you have 10 grams of dried psilocybin mushrooms so that I can meet God before I die? That's what I would tell you. I'm sorry, sir, do you have 15 tabs of triple dipped acid? I would love to take a copious amount of psychedelics and literally leave the planet. That's living. Before I die. Literally. Listen here, you cocksucking motherfucker. You always talking shit on my beard? Fuck yourself, Krusty. Your name is literally Krusty. You're a crusty fuck. You're right, we're all gonna die. Yeah, I know, dude. It was terrible. It's terrible. It was terrible. Again, it makes me sound like I have an agenda when I say that Inter played like shit, but the fact is that Inter played like shit. They weren't threatening whatsoever. And they weren't difficult to deal with. The problem is that neither were Liverpool. I don't think I saw Ekitike. I don't think I saw Ekitike or Isak pass to each other once. Not once. I didn't see them link up once. Also, ladies and gentlemen, we have an amazing announcement. We have a wonderful announcement for the people who are fans of Liverpool Football Club. You ready? 1 second. I need to take a sip. Drum roll. For the low price. For the low price, the bargaining chip of one single American dollar. You yourself, in your football club, wherever you are in any part of the world, at any possible stage of the game, you can buy Alexis McAllister for $1. This is Alexis McAllister's transfer value as of December 10th, 2025. $1. You can buy him for the low price of $1. This is what McAllister is worth. He is the biggest piece of shit on the fucking face of the earth. He is the worst midfielder I have ever seen in my entire life. This guy is worse for the team than Mohamed Salah is by 500,000. And I'm even doing him a service. I'm doing him a service by saying that he's worth $1. I don't even think he's worth $1. But in order for it to be a transaction, money needs to be spent. If I could give him to you for free, I would. If I could give him to you for nothing, I would say, by all means, take this off my hands. But I have to do it. I have to put a value on him. And Alexis McAllister's value is $1. The man is a geriatric fuck. He rolls around the pitch on a wheelchair. He has bricks for feet. He is incapable of playing the game. He sucks. And also he's Argentinian. And I fucking hate Argentina. I fucking hate Argentina. I hate the national team of Argentina. I don't necessarily like the country of Argentina. I hate Christian Romero. I hate Lisandro Martinez. I despise the Argentinians. And the only reason why I even liked McAllister was because he played for Liverpool. But at this point, he doesn't play for Liverpool. He plays against Liverpool. So the Argentinian fuck can leave my club for $1. And I know that currently in Argentina right now, $1 is really like $1 million. You know, $1 American dollar is really equal to $1 million American dollars. But I'm going to give him to you for the low price of one. And then you can do that over. Talking about the football team, brother. The football team. When I say I hate Argentina, I hate the Argentinian football team. I don't give a fuck about Argentina. Although it is, listen, I'm just gonna tell you out there. There's a reason why there's a lot of Germans in Argentina. There's a reason why a lot of people in Argentina speak German. After a certain conflict in 1945, a certain group of people decided to flee to Argentina and create their own villages. Perhaps a certain man fled to Argentina. But there are communities within Argentina that only speak German. Also, there's a reason why everyone in Argentina, literally everyone in Argentina, is of a certain skin color. And it's not by accident. There's a reason why everyone in Argentina looks the same, and it's not by accident. There was a certain expulsion of a certain group of people from the country at a certain time. Just saying. Just saying. You know, just saying. And they acted a certain way in the World Cup 2022. Just saying. Just saying. Anyway, besides the point. Alexis McAllister is fucking dog shit. He's the worst midfielder I've ever seen in my entire life. The dude is fucking useless. Useless. And Curtis Jones needs to take over his position for the rest of time. I don't want to see Alexis McAllister play for Liverpool Football Club again. The guy is atrocious. He offers nothing. He's only a hindrance. He slows play down. He has no ability to link up play. He doesn't move off the ball. He doesn't create runs. He doesn't drag defenders. He doesn't create 1-2s. He doesn't play in triangles. Just a complete waste of a human being on the football pitch. Their women are beautiful. Absolutely. Argentinian women, holy fuck. You want a toxic Latina mommy, go to fucking Argentina. And trust me, I would love a toxic Latina mommy in my life. But they are some of the most beautiful women I've ever seen in my entire life. But that's a separate story. And you could say the same thing about a lot of countries. All right. South American women are next level. What? Hussam, what are you saying? I insulted the Atan? The fuck is the Atan? Staffy, what is the Athan? I don't even know what that is. Is that the call to prayer thing? I didn't insult the Athan. I did the call to prayer because I always say that to Staffy every day. Whenever he texts me, I just text him back, Ashadu Allah. Yeah, that's not insulting it. If you think that that's insulting it, that's insane. I'm singing it because it sounds lyrically nice and it has a good melody. Hold on. I don't really think that would justify that, but just something I do to Staffy. Either way. He's a piece of shit motherfucker. He's an absolute loser with zero legacy. Absolute loser with zero legacy. 25 years from now, no one will remember Jamie Carragher. Everyone will remember Mohamed Salah. I don't know. He has a Discord. I have no idea. I just don't know what happened to the guy. The guy hasn't been that bad. The guy hasn't been that bad in prior seasons. But this year, he's taken such a level down. He's taken such a level down that I can't justify him being in this team. I can't justify supporting him as a Liverpool player. I think he plays against this team. It's a lot like Cody Gakpo. I can't justify you playing Cody Gakpo. But also, that's another thing. Guys, we don't have a left winger or a right winger right now, and you think we're going to be okay against fucking Brighton? We have no width. I mean, listen, even when we did have wide players, we didn't technically have width because we would just isolate our wingers into 3v1s. But we're fucked. You are not going to see good football for the foreseeable future out of this football club. You never will. Ever. You will never, ever, 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 ever see good football under Arne Slot again. And if you do, it won't be because of him. It'll be because a few players decide to just take the game by the balls, make it happen themselves. This coffee's got me fucking wired. I did a watch along for the game yesterday. So yes, I did. I did do a watch along. I did watch the game. Unfortunately, I watched the game. It was disgusting. It was atrocious. It was a crime against humanity. It was from both sides. I've given these thoughts already. It was a horrendous performance and a lucky 3 points. Terrible. Defensively pragmatic against the team that was offensively pragmatic, offensively inept and incapable against the team that wasn't defensively super sound. One shot on target within the box in 97 minutes, 3 shots on target from outside the box, none of them really challenging the goalkeeper. Neither striker being able to link up with each other. Isak completely ineffective and inept. Ekitike completely ineffective and inept. An absence of midfield and build-up. Lateral passing, backwards passing, long balls. Just overall terrible. Terrible. But people call that a professional performance. I say that's a professional dick-sucking performance. How about that? You're professionally sucking the dick of Liverpool Football Club, calling that a good performance. If you look at that and you say, what a professional win, you are professionally sucking the cock of every Liverpool player. Congratulations. You like dick in your mouth. Again, I have something to hold standards to. I spent £500 million. Here's the problem. I said this in the summer. I said this in August. When you spend this much money, you demand excellence. I gave the team a couple weeks at the beginning of the season. It's now December 10th. There is no more time. You needed to figure out how we were going to play possession-based football by this point, and you haven't. And every week it gets worse. So I'm not going to sit here and give you results-based analysis when you can't get £500 million worth of players to do anything. Why the fuck would I change up my standard? You spent £500 million. You spent the GDP of like half the countries in Central America on 5 players. And you can't figure out how to play possession-based football. You can't figure out how to generate shots on target from inside the box. You can't figure out how to get Isak involved in a fucking game. And you can't even play Florian Wirtz. So no, I'm not going to sit here and call it a fucking professional performance and ignore the money that I spent this fucking summer. Not to mention the fact that you've imploded so badly that your greatest player in the history of the Premier League is publicly shitting on you and is now forcing a move out of the club. So no, I'm not going to call it a fucking professional performance. It was a dog shit game given the context of the fact that I had $450 million worth of fucking attacking talent who provided me 0 shots on target within the box in 97 minutes. How fucking dare you call that a mid-game? Fuck out of here, bro. Go ask any Inter fan what they think, and they'll say, we played like cowards who respected the worst team in Europe. If you respect us, you will fail. Teams that don't respect us prevail. Leeds didn't respect us. They went for it. Don't respect us, brother. Don't respect us. If you respect us, we'll win. You have to play disrespectfully against Liverpool because we don't deserve respect. We are, without a doubt, the worst coached team in all of the 5 leagues of Europe. All of them. We would be the worst coached team in America as well. And we don't have good coaches here. So, sorry for that little rant, but 500 million pounds gets me this in December. Fuck yourself. Fuck yourself. Shut up, you bitch. Hey, Curtis Jones had a great game, Danny. Curtis Jones had a great game. Absolutely. 100%. Curtis Jones was fantastic. I think that Curtis Jones should be starting every fucking game. Again, Danny, I don't know if you saw this, but we're currently going through a fire sale on Liverpool Football Club for the low price of $1 American. You can bring Alexis McAllister to your football club, wherever you are at any stage of the game. If you want him a part of your Sunday League squad, if you give me $1, I will sign his contract over to you. And I will continue to pay his wages because I know that you can't afford it. I need him gone. The guy can't get playing time, so what is there an opinion to have? There is no opinion to have. He can't get playing time. So I don't have an opinion. The kid's also only 17. It's way too early to create some kind of opinion, and he hasn't played enough. So simple. Don't know what to tell you. You think I want Unai Emery? I don't know, not really. Um, since 2014, but just in general since 2005. There you go. Hey, hey, just saying, just saying. You know, we spent 500 million pounds, and all we got to do is spend another 500 million, and we should be there. Yeah, bro, I'll give him to Everton for 50 cents. Everton, if you're listening, you can buy McAllister for 50 cents on the dollar. Fuck no, he's way too early. I hated that whole Indy Calia tweet that Liverpool are waiting for Xabi Alonso to get sacked. And fuck that, dude. He sucks ass. He's a fucking rookie head coach. He's only coached for like 4 years. The fuck is he gonna do? He's already buckling under the pressure of Madrid. Although I have questions about, Madrid's team makeup anyway. You want to talk about a real team that actually has real profile issues? I think Real Madrid is one of them. But like I said, I will take anyone not named Arnie Slot. So if it has to be Xabi Alonso, Viva Alonso. What's my suggested lineup for Saturday? I don't really care. Let's just not get fucked. How about that? But since you asked so nicely, Water, Allison, Joe Gomez, Virgil van Dijk, Ibrahim Konate, Andrew Robertson, Curtis Jones, Ryan Gravenberch, Florian Wirtz, Katike Isak, Soboslai as right wing. There you go. Boom. Done. No, I've already said this. I think that Slot is a fucking moron. He's an absolute arrogant buffoon. He is completely inept. He is arrogant and he will not get out of his own way. I do believe that he possesses the ability. I think that he possesses the ability to change, but I don't think he will because he's an arrogant fuck. Again, I don't think that he's a stupid person. I think that he's an arrogant person, and arrogant people become stupid. Does this make sense? You know, I'm going to give you an analogy. When a certain man rose to power in Germany in 1930, 32, I believe, early 30s, rose to power. All of a sudden, very smart man, starts taking territory, goes after Poland, goes after the Czech Republic, does this, does that. And then he finds himself looking to his east. And he says, you know what sounds like a good idea? I think I should take 4 million men and initiate Operation Barbarossa. And you know what? Let's give these guys spring clothing on the dawn of winter because it'll be so easy. And as history played itself out, it became a two-sided war and they got crushed. Was he a stupid person? No. Was he an arrogant person? Yes. Arrogance leads to stupidity. Jerry, if you want to hop on, let me know. I'll happily battle it out with you, buddy, because we are dog shit. But arrogance leads to stupidity. You can be the smartest man in the world. If you become arrogant, you become stupid. It's that simple. It doesn't matter what medium of life you operate in. Arrogance is stupidity because it makes you think that you're better than you are. So it's that simple. I don't believe that Slot is a stupid person. I believe that Slot is an arrogant person. And arrogant people are stupid. Does that make sense? I mean, listen, arrogance and stubbornness are almost the same thing. Salah is not washed. Salah is the scapegoat. Salah is the scapegoat. I don't think that Salah has been good in front of goal, but I also don't think that Salah gets help. And I think that the second half against Sunderland is the perfect analogy for what Salah has to deal with every game. And ultimately, he is the talisman, so he is going to get, the surface level judgment. And for some reason, Arne Slot thinks that dropping Salah but keeping Cody Gakpo is a solution. For some reason, that Arne Slot thinks that playing with the same midfield that doesn't play in midfield is somehow going to provide service to the front line. So Salah gets scapegoated. But what he did was inexcusable. What he said was stupid. He shouldn't have done it. It was a dumbass fucking decision. And he deserves the treatment that he's getting. Even though I don't disagree with what he said, he's an idiot. He's an idiot for doing it. But he's forcing a move. He wants to leave, so let him leave. I will always take the side of Mohamed Salah over Arne Slot, though. I'm never taking Arne Slot's side on anything. Fuck Arne Slot. The dude deserves to get shit thrown at him. If we lose to Brighton, I want to see the entire away section throwing tomatoes at Arne Slot's fucking head like it's 15-15. The game's away, right? Fuck, that game's at home. If we lose to Brighton, I want to see the entire home crowd throwing tomatoes at Arne Slot's head like it's 15-15. That's what I want to see. I don't think that we're going to see a good performance against Brighton. And if you think we're going to see a good performance against Brighton, holy shit, you are fucking biased. Where do you get off telling me that we're going to play good against fucking Brighton? We all know Jerry is shameless. We all know Jerry is shameless. All right, Jerry. I got you. There you go, Jerry. But we beat Inter Milan. But we beat Inter Milan. But we beat Inter Milan. We beat Inter Milan. Oh, you say we beat the Inter Milano. We beat the Italians in the Italy. We beat the Italians in the Italy. Oh, okay. We beat the Italians in the Italy. Okay. We're back, man. We're back. All right. Jerry's going to come tell us why Liverpool beat the Italians in the Italy.
Hello, guys. I'm so happy to be here. Whippy! It's me, Mario.
Bro, I actually took Italian. I actually took Italian in high school. That was the
Really?
language that I did.
I'm surprised actually. They had. I thought Spanish would be like the go-to.
It's
Obviously.
Spanish, French, and Italian are the three that are pretty much at like every high school, and then depending on where you are, they'll do other languages. But I took Italian because I was like, yo, this is a really nice language. And then I got a tutor who was just this insanely hot Italian chick, and I started getting better grades. Listen, I started getting better, I started getting better grades, because I wanted to be able to conversate with her in Italian. But listen, the Italians suck at football, and yesterday they proved why they didn't win the Champions League final, because they played like absolute cowards. But you know what? Floor is yours.
Yeah, I think I agree. I think we spoke of obviously off air, and I think you brought up the stat with regards to a team playing less long balls, and I think that's been my problem the whole season. The fact that long balls, I mean, since January, to be fair, long balls seem to be the detriment of Liverpool. Yeah, I mean, but what I would say though is when everyone expected us to get battered, correct? You expected us to lose. I expected us to lose. I did. Even though I predicted a win, I thought Liverpool would lose. I predicted a win because I was shameless and I wanted pain.
I also feel like a draw is a loss, though. Like just at this point in the season, I think a draw is also a loss. So when I say loss, I just didn't think that we would win the game.
Yeah, I think majority of people thought we'd get smashed. 4-0, 3-1, 3-0. That was the kind of scores I was hearing. And what we did is, again, wasn't great football, wasn't outstanding football, but it was a team there that seemed to be fighting either for Liverpool or the manager, however else you want to look at it. Probably Liverpool, maybe some of them a bit of both. Defensively, we were much better than we have been, albeit we didn't face a lot of the long balls. But I think we conceded, 2 chances maybe? The Lautaro Martinez
really
shot
won.
And then something else. Really won, exactly. So they didn't really do anything, but it's also how well Liverpool defended. I saw Joe Gomez charging out to block crosses. We saw Virgil van Dijk engaging a bit more and letting the ball hit, his front part of his body as opposed to turning his backside. All these little things that we've criticised. So from that perspective, if a manager's under pressure, and again, I want him gone, but if a manager's under pressure and he's setting up to defend, then he kind of did what we expected. Now, was it great football? Was I entertained? Was it the best game I've ever seen at Liverpool? Of course not. But we have seen 10 times worse. 10 times worse. So from that perspective, you have to look at it and be like, okay, there's an improvement. Now, did I want certain players to play? No. Did I think McAllister was shit again? Yes. Was I happy not to see Kirkes? Yeah. Do we need to start having a conversation about Abdi Isak up front? Yes, I think there does. Because by this point, Nunes had already had 9 goals and we were questioning him. And yes, we are terrible, but he is also terrible. And yeah, that's about it. I think I'm not going to use this game as a barometer to be like, yeah, Liverpool are back. And of course not.
No.
Of course not. Like, you can't. Like, sorry, people thought that against Real Madrid, and we both sat there on stream and we're like, no. And it's the same type of game, isn't it? So, but all you can look towards is Liverpool looked a bit more solid because we had just more midfielders on the pitch. And I think it was a good thing not having Gakpo on the pitch as well, because I think it meant that we kept the ball a bit better than we have done in previous games. Albeit we didn't create loads of chances, which is another story we can talk about. But in terms of just general build-up play, it wasn't as bad as the 4-0-6-2 or whatever it is. You know what I mean? It was.
I mean, I really did think it was. I really did think it was. I don't know about you, but I thought basically Ekitike and Isak in the first half were rotating who was sitting out wide. And no matter who went out wide, I saw the same scenario as when Cody Gakpo would be there. Isak would have the ball and have 3 players around him and would be forced to go backwards. When it came to us building up in possession, I saw us basically operating with Robertson, Konate, and Virgil as the back 3. Joe Gomez as a hybrid right midfielder, not even a right wing back, even more progressive than a right wing back. And Gravenberch and McAllister basically giving me the most standstill double pivot I've ever seen in my entire life. And then essentially it was just a simulation of maybe try to get the ball to them, and then they'll slow the play down, and then no one around them will move, and then they'll have to work backwards. And at times, maybe one guy picked up a pocket of space, and maybe McAllister went forward, or Gravenberch went forward, or Jones went forward. But the second they found themselves in that progressive position, everyone else is standing still. So they're like, I'm in a progressive position. I don't know what to do. And then that's why you saw the one moment where Curtis Jones decided to dribble 3 players and take a shot from outside the box. Because at that point in the game, he was tired of saying, you know what, I keep finding myself here and I keep having to pass back because no one else is making themselves available. So I'm going to make something happen. And then, of course, in that same phase of play, Ryan Gravenberch gets his shot from outside the box. I mean, we only had 4 shots on target, I think, 3 of them from outside the box. The only shot on target in the second half was from Connor Bradley. That's the only shot on target that we had inside the box. And then for Inter Milan, they only had 2 shots on target in the whole game, and both of them came in the first half. Second half, not a single shot on target. So, I mean, I think it was a terrible game from both sides when it comes to going forward. I just think that Inter, for some reason, decided to respect us. And I've said all season, if you respect us, you will lose.
But I think that's Inter's game. Inter's always played like that. And I think Italian teams historically have always set up to nullify the opposition's team. So when I look at it, right, I'm not looking at this game as a barometer to be like, this is why Slot should be in. Of course not.
No, for sure. You're trying to take positives.
But when I look at the game, and I'm like, okay, cool. We are playing Inter Milan. They haven't lost there for 3 years. I understand Italian football style of play. I know what they're going to do. They are playing a 2 up top. They've got their, back 3 or back 4 at times. They sit off like this, and they're going to go and try to make the game really, really ugly. Liverpool, for large parts, controlled that game. Controlled it with regards to, we are in control of the game. We are navigating any kind of threat that they're doing. Now, yes, to your point, from an attacking standpoint, that's another discussion. I think we need to get there. But I think, let's be honest, this is terminal. I already messaged you about this. This is terminal.
No. But
end of life management. I get it, but this is end of life management. And at this moment in time, you're just trying to stop the pain. And the pain was Liverpool were conceding so many chances, so many goals. It was just inevitable. In that game, it was like finally, there's a bit more stability. Liverpool don't look like they're going to get caught. Like, compare it to the Aston Villa game, which I think Aston Villa and Liverpool were even worse. The amount of chances Liverpool... Exactly. But Liverpool won the game.
They all came in the first 15 minutes, though. So Villa kind of stopped after that.
100%, and obviously Liverpool got the goal, and then the goal changes the game, and you kind of saw it when Liverpool scored the penalty. All of a sudden, Liverpool started to play a bit more as well. Wirtz was picking up pockets. Bradley came on. You saw there was impetus with those changes. But in general, I look at it and I'm like, okay, well, we can kind of set up to defend a bit more now. So heck, end of life management. What we need to do now is just not, like, again, if Liverpool do not concede, you do not lose. Do you win? Not necessarily. But you can't lose if you do not concede, right?
Yeah.
And for me, that's the stage we're at, Mike. I'm not expecting free-flowing football, and I get it from your perspective. You've got a standard, and I get it. And I was there as well. But I'm past this. When something's terminal at this point, I'm not expecting like something gracious. I'm not expecting fluid football. I'm not expecting you to come on here tomorrow or after the game and be like, well, yeah, I mean, you got to look at Liverpool, and this is outstanding. And finally, we saw patterns of play. Of course not. I'm not. That's patterns of play. That's gone out the window. We were speaking about that 3 months ago, Mike. Now, what we're talking about is, can we just stop conceding goals? Maybe like that was what. Can we have Virgil just be a defender? Can
That's
Konate?
what 500 million buys you. That's what 500 million buys you.
Exactly. And listen, those are other things we can speak about. And we're both on the same page. We were the advocates for Slot being out, right? But everyone wants to jump on the bandwagon now. Unfortunately, it's over. It's stage 4. It's terminal. Wherever you go and stand on it, at this moment in time, it's just end of life. So for me, I look at it and I'm like, hey, decent. If Liverpool do this for the rest of the season, I'm not going to enjoy it, but boy, they'll pick up points. And ultimately, that's where it's got to start. You've got to start with the defense.
What do you think of?
I'll be back. 2 secs.
Yeah. Listen, I kind of hear what you're saying. I understand it completely. I just don't. I can't agree, because I just refuse to accept an inability to play possession-based football after spending 500 million pounds buying a 100 million pound backup striker, a 150 million pound striker, a 120 million pound 10, a 40 million pound left back, a 40 million pound right back, and just be like, it's December, we suck, let's just forget it. Let's just forget it. I don't want to do that. I do understand we are terminal at this point, but at the same time, if I were terminal, I still want to go out with a bang. I still want to take a heroic dose and meet the universe, meet God, do some ayahuasca, do some mushrooms, do whatever. Like, I don't want to just die, and I get it. People have kind of just accepted that the season is death at this point, but I just refuse to find it, even if we aren't creating chances. Again, the biggest thing that I was saying on the watch along every 5 fucking seconds was, look at everyone walking. Look at everyone walking. Look at everyone walking. Every time we had the ball in a progressive position, there would be no off-ball movement. The off-ball movement is you take a step to your left and you're like, hey, I'm open. Not really. So again, maybe it's not even the style of play that I'm just sick of at this point. It's just what the players are doing. And how is that going to affect whoever else comes in? Because I don't think that these guys know how to play football. And I think Alexis McAllister is like the perfect example of that. The guy doesn't move. I've already said it. This is his worth. This is his worth. He is worth $1. Any team on the face of the earth, I will give you Alexis McAllister for one single American dollar. No, $1. A George Washington.
You can George have Washington. That's even worse. That's even worse. My apologies. Washington. Yuck. But the thing is, look, right? We agree with this. Again, the manager should have been gone ages ago. After Brentford, when he changed the team and didn't stick with the Frankfurt game, for me it was over. It was done, right?
Yeah.
But again, that's besides the point. When we just look at the game, right? I agree. 450 million. We've got this. We've got that. There's that problem. But guess what? For some reason, defensively, it just looked a bit better. Now, for whatever reason, we're not sure. We can't even judge, because guess what? If Liverpool face 200 long balls against Brighton, which I don't think they're going to do, but let's say we face 200 long balls against Brighton and we get a similar result and defensively we're solid, then we can look to that and be like, actually, maybe there's a change in fortunes. I don't believe so, because we've seen it before. We saw this against Villa. We saw this against Real Madrid, where they played less long balls than we faced in other games, and we won those games, right? So, Again, we could lose the game against Brighton and we're just back at square one. And again, I'm aware of that, and I know that, and I know the manager's not good enough. But ultimately, I look at it and I'm looking at it right, and I'm like, actually, hey, maybe we need to just move away from having these wingers, and maybe we just need to change our perspective on what the football is. Because ultimately, not having Gakpo there as well, in my opinion, made us keep the ball better. And I think that's been a massive problem. When we spoke about the possession, we're like, we're doing all this 5-0 in the midfield, but we can't even keep it. And we don't know what we are. We are a pressing team. Are we trying to pass? Are we trying to... We never understood. Whereas now...
We didn't press at all, really.
Exactly. Whereas now I look at it and I'm like, well, okay, at least we kept it. At least we had players on the pitch that kept it. And at least, all right, I saw... Again, Jones doesn't have a good game if Liverpool don't keep the ball. Gravenberch doesn't have a good game if Liverpool can't keep the ball. Right? So when we look at it, it's like, oh, okay, these players all had decent games. They were the standout players. Verts, when he came on, Bradley, they were the standout players because we could keep the ball a bit better and the patterns look better. And for me, it's like, oh, okay, well, even for the next manager that comes in, at least there's a cohort or a unit where they can start to just build some chemistry because they haven't been able to go and do that. So even if Jabi Alonso comes in or Cesc Fabregas or whoever comes in, and hopefully soon, they'll have a basis to look at and be like, okay, that's how we can play. And our width can come from our fullbacks, maybe potentially, because it seems that Ghali's going to be gone.
The reason why I think we looked so defensively structured and strong is because, well, a few reasons. Number one, possession was split literally down the middle. It's 50-50. We had 11 more passes than Inter Milan. So literally down the middle. There is no separation in terms of having the ball. We had 3 more shots than they did, but they had more shots from inside the box than we did. They had more goalkeeper saves. I mean, the funniest stat I find is that they had 15 tackles and we had 3. We only had 3 tackles that game. But to me, I just felt like, especially after watching some Inter fans talk about the game, Inter played like we did offensively. I felt that they moved the ball with no emphasis, with no pace. They passed it around the back. They tried to basically have their back line be their dictators in play. At times in the second half, I saw Bastoni in the left wing position, like their center back dictating play at the left wing. And I just felt like they weren't moving the ball quick enough, and Liverpool were parking 9 men behind the ball. And then you saw in our press for the majority of the game, it was just Isak and Ekitike sort of kind of pressing, and the rest of the team being solid behind them from the halfway line on. So there were moments where we would press. There were also moments where Inter would bypass the press, but then they weren't on it going forward after that. To me, the only time they actually moved the ball with emphasis, that led to Lautaro Martinez's header. The one time they decided to play quick, get the ball to the wing quickly, and try to catch us out, Lautaro Martinez had a header in the middle of the box. Not a guaranteed goal or anything. It's a glancing header, but nonetheless on target. I think that they were a victim of their own game plan. And it's much like the way that I talked about Real Madrid and Aston Villa. I think that if you want to view those games defensively, you have to view it from the perspective of Liverpool came there to not be bad defensively. They didn't come there to score goals. They came there to not get beat, right? We're going to take our chances when we get them. We're going to try to play possession-based football. We don't want to leave ourselves hung and dry. But what is the other team going to do? Are they going to respect that, or are they just going to spam? And I think that when we do that, teams that just spam will find something. Like you can't, I firmly believe that you cannot respect Liverpool. If you respect Liverpool, you will lose.
I agree.
And until teams really, and it's funny because it's only the big teams that refuse to ignore that. Teams like Brentford, they don't lose anything by not respecting us. Teams like Leeds, they don't lose anything.
But if it is, I think they respect us. But the problem is with regards to how they play. I think when it's evident, when you know a long ball, right, something that direct, A to B, the basics of football from the 1500s, right, just kick the ball as far as you can towards a goal. If you do that, and it's very, if you're sitting back or you're sitting off even in the mid block, and you just decide to go and pump the ball long, and you know the team can't deal with it, that's a very, it's not a risky game plan. If you know you're not going to have the ball anyway, because you know Liverpool are going to try to dominate.
We did. I mean, we did that for the whole first half. How many times did Alisson go long?
But that's my point. Liverpool can go and do that in those games. But when Liverpool go up against the Leeds are very comfortable saying, we know we're not going to have the ball. So there is already a respect. They understand they're not going to have the ball because they're not going to go and try and win it off you, right? What it is, you know what? We're going to have the ball, but we're confident when we go direct, you can't deal with it. And what we're going to do is win the first and second ball, and we're going to challenge. So when a team does that, and you can't win the first and second ball for whatever reason, because Konate wins the first header, but then McAllister turns his back or doesn't win the 50-50 and just doesn't do the basics, right? It then means that every single time, and you feel it in the stadium, every single time a team goes long, we look like, oh, we're going to concede. It's the same with the set pieces. Leeds set piece came on, and I was literally speaking to Ends, and I said, Liverpool concede now. And he was like, don't say that, don't. Oh, of course you do, because you can just feel it. The ground can feel it. These guys can't win their headers. Compare it to Arsenal, right? Arsenal, when they attack set pieces, every time they get a corner, you're thinking they're going to score here. And it's a difference in mentality, and it's a not an expectation, but it's a belief that you look at Arsenal and you think they are solid at set pieces, especially offensively, right? When Liverpool with long balls, we used to be so good at that. We used to be like, yeah, even the high line, right? The high line's such a risky game. But when we had Virgil van Dijk, Matip, or Gomez in their prime, we were so comfortable as a Liverpool team because like we know Virgil and Gomez are going to catch that in behind, so we're going to go and press up. When Tottenham tried to do that and they tried to play that risky game, it looks crazy because they're not as good at it at that. And I think Liverpool right now are so terrible defensively, to your point, as you spoke about, but with the basics. So not in terms of like, we're talking about when we're expansive and then we've got to win the 1v1 duel and then pick up the second ball. We're not good at that. That just ruins everything. So when Liverpool now go in, this is why I go back to it, that defensive structure, what my that problem with Slot has been is it's not working out. Just go defensive. Make it solid. Because guess what? If you had done that from earlier, we might even be sitting here and we might be Slot out still, but thinking, you know what, at least football's crap. We've got 500 million on the bench, but at least we're not losing games. At least he's managing it. And at certain games, against PSG, he got praised for that. In the PSG game, when he was solid and we caught them on the break with Harvey Elliott, it was what a tactical masterclass.
Whoa.
An Alisson game. And the Alisson,
yeah, no,
right?
that was the only fucking thing I said. That PSG game, we got fucked, and Alisson just put on the performance of a lifetime. Like that's
exactly.
It.
But
that's
you know what the narrative was, right? Right. If Liverpool go on to win that game, you look at that as that was a defensive masterclass. Yes, from Alisson, but the team as well, because the team had to work together. It's not like we were open.
From some people, sure.
Of course. And then you move on. Liverpool, unfortunately, can't do the basics well. And that's why it infuriates me when we're like, why is Gravenberch not just in the six? Why is he not just staying there? And Slot said yesterday, and Virgil van Dijk actually alluded to it, we had Ryan helping us out, just staying in front of us. Lo and behold, we look defensively better, which we've been calling for. So it's but guess what? It seems like all these things that have happened, so Salah doing what he's done, Gakpo being injured, made us have to play this way, which made us more solid. And that's how you've got to start when shit hits the fan. You can't try to be expansive. If you try to be expansive, we know what would have happened against Inter Milan. It'd be 4-0. We'd get piped. We'd have got piped.
But to go back to the terminal analogy, this would be like, one doctor says you're terminal, so you decide to go to a new study that isn't fully tested yet, just to give it a shot. You're like, you know what? I don't have the traditional options. Maybe the kombucha is going to help me. I'm here trying to tell you, bro, fuck the kombucha. Just take a shitload of mushrooms and it'll be what it'll be. And the shitload of mushrooms is just sacking Slot. Like, at the end of the day, I understand what you're saying, but I just don't care. I just don't care because I can't look at that and have any sort of joy because I will always fall back to the idea that going forward, this is not sustainable. This is not consistent. There is no identity. There is no basics. Again, you talk about basics defensively. The basic principle of offensive possession is whoever doesn't have the ball, you don't stop moving. Like, you need to create off-ball runs. You need to drag defenders. You can't just be attacking a team that's flat-footed because you're flat-footed. Again, for the majority of that game when we had the ball, I saw Inter Milan's defense walking around because we're walking around, right? And if they're walking around, we're walking around. No one's getting tired. No one's getting pulled out of position. No one's doing jack shit. So regardless, like, I'm looking at Brighton.
Would you agree, though? I get it. But would you agree that yesterday there was less walking around? Even from McAllister. There was less than he's done. He moved more. He moved more in that game.
No way.
And he was crap.
No
and guess what?
way.
He was shit. No, but guess what? Andy was shit. McAllister was crap. Again, the dollar bill, he's not even that. He's a cent. How about that? He's worth a cent. He's worth a penny.
Listen, I've already
in the fountain,
I've made
in the
my
memorial.
proclamation. He's the worst. He's the worst midfielder in the UK at all levels of football, from Sunday League to Premier League.
And that's fine. And I agree with that. And I agree with everything you're saying. My point is that Curtis Jones moved a lot. I saw good movement from Gravenberch. I saw good movement from Soboslai. I had Joe Gomez moving around. When Wirtz came on, he was moving around. When Bradley came, Ekitike was moving. I look at those things and I'm like, oh, it was better in possession, not from an attacking standpoint, but keeping the ball, it was better than it has been. And that doesn't take away, again, see, this is where me and you differ. You're looking at it and you're like, yeah, look, the kombucha, it's not working, it's shit. Get the mushrooms. And I get the shrooms. I'm saying, F the shrooms, we need chemo. At this point, we need to blitz everything.
Yeah,
We need
yeah,
to
yeah.
blitz the toxicity, the
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
toxins,
yeah.
the manager, everything needs to be blitzed. The system, we need to go and we need new cells. And that's my opinion. At this point in time, we need new cells. So guess what, Virgil? At the end of the year, bye-bye. Robbo, bye-bye. Like, there needs to be a purge. We can't keep because what's going to happen? We're going to drink the shrooms, right? We're going to get the shrooms. We're going to feel good. And then what's going to happen is the toxicity will spread again, and we'll be in the same situation where we'll be like,
or perhaps the mighty placebo effect comes into play, and all of a sudden it dissipates because you have found a way to live. Again, like, you know, this is delving into science, which is like actually like a different interest of mine. But for the own metaphor, you know, perhaps maybe you just go on this journey and you're like, your body just starts to heal itself, which is very possible. I mean, if you look at any double-blind study, one half is given the drug, one half is given the placebo, and some
the
people who take
placebo
the
effects
placebo,
will, yeah.
some people who
It's the
take the
positive
placebo,
mindset. It's the mindset.
exactly.
Yeah.
Well, in theory, if you're just taking a pill that's made of salt and you get cured of cancer, nothing actually cured your cancer but salt, which means it was you. So regardless of that, I think, again, this is the issue. Like, this is why I've retired from watch alongs, because I need to be able to record games so that I can go back to very specific moments and I can literally show people. In a sense, do I think that the way that we kept the ball was a little bit better? Yes, because we weren't giving it away cheaply and giving away transitions. But do I think that our movement in progressive possession was good? No. Progressive
Exactly.
meaning
I agree with that.
When we're in the opposition half and and like I need to generate a attack going forward, the only times I looked dangerous was when one of my midfielders said, "Fuck all this noise, I'm gonna dribble 2 or 3 players and make something happen myself." Curtis Jones,
I
Ryan
agree.
Gravenberch, but that shouldn't be a reality for me. Like, the reality is
No, but it is. See, Mike, you're still in denial. You're in denial. It's like
I know I'm in denial, but I'm saying, like, what I need to see.
It doesn't matter. We spent 500 million on the kombucha. It didn't work. It's not working. Yeah, we need
But
to
it still
listen.
could work. It still
But
could
it's a
work,
basis.
you know?
It's a basis. Do you know what it is? This is a basis because we've spoken about we couldn't even keep the ball. We couldn't defend. Guess what? I saw defense and we kept the ball. So for me, just that game, I look at it and I'm like, okay, hopefully, and not hopefully, I don't think it's going to happen. But in an ideal scenario, the team builds on this because that's how you build on it. I don't think we can. Again, if we're defensively solid and we can keep the ball in possession and we're a bit better, great. We weren't giving it away cheaply. We didn't concede transition. The next step is, can we be progressive? So now any optimistic fan would look at that and be like, okay, cool. Let's see if we can be progressive.
It's December 10th,
Mike,
and you're trying to deconstruct
I want
the basics
Mike,
of
it's
football.
terminal. Mike, guys, Mike is in denial. He knows what he's seeing.
What do you mean? I'm the one who created this analogy. I'm not in denial. I created the stage 1 to stage 4.
No, you created it, but it's happening to you now. So you're feeling it and you're like, this is shit. And I get it. We want the manager gone. The problem is getting a manager gone, right? To your placebo a metaphor, an analogy, right?
It wouldn't solve anything immediately.
It wouldn't. That's my point, and that's the point. Is that at this point we should have done this 3 months ago. It's over. It's over because guess what? The placebo. You need the positive mindset. The players haven't got a positive mindset. You see it. You see McAllister's booting the ball off the pitch. You see it because guess what? Last season people were telling me he was world class. You see it with Salah. You see it with Gakpo. You see it with Konate. You see it with Verts. You see it with Abdi up top. You see it with all these players, right? So when I'm looking at it, I'm like, you know what? At this point in time, it doesn't even matter if you have a new manager. Their mentality is their mentality. And it's more difficult to build that monster mentality thing that we had than to go and destroy it. Exactly. We haven't got one. It's destroyed. It is what it is.
Well, I mean, that's just, I mean, I've talked about how Arne Slot is a weak man for many weeks. The guy is the walking personification of a cuck. I don't see fight. I don't see energy. I don't see anything, any sort of substance. And then I see that directly reflected on the players. Like, we go up 1-0 against West Ham and we look like a bunch of cowards. We concede a penalty to Leeds and we look like a bunch of cowards. And the list goes on and on and on and on and on.
Do you know what? The one time he hasn't been a coward, ironically, and I know the chat's going to get annoyed. It's his interview yesterday. That was the one time I sat there and was like, you know
with
what?
with Seedorf.
Yeah, I was like, the one time I was like, you know what? Whether I agree with it or I don't, at least he's standing on business. Because guess what? If he had turned around and said, yeah, I'm going to apologize to Salah and done that, I would have been like, this guy has, listen, he needs to go.
I
That
mean,
like,
Salah is forcing him. Like anyone with a brain knows,
someone's
Salah
forcing
is
his hand.
forcing him.
But imagine he didn't. He's forcing his hand. But imagine Salah was like, no, we need to do everything we can, and I'm so sorry. And he came out. That would be even worse. That'd be even
I
worse
mean,
in
listen,
terms of
I'm just
in terms of strength, right? You know, you got to be wrong and strong. Sometimes in a business, Mike, right? Even though I make the wrong decision as a CEO or as an owner of a
no,
company,
stand on it.
just for
Stand
the
on it.
I have to
Die on
stand
your
on the
shield.
business.
Die on your
Exactly.
shield.
And he unfortunately he's standing on it. And he's probably gonna die on the shield. And we know it's terminal anyway. He's gonna die on the shield, whether it's
Yeah,
now, whether it's in the summer.
Salah's gonna go, and then people are gonna. I mean, the amazing thing to me is that people are just like brushing this under the table. Like they're just like, "Oh, Salah's leaving." I'm like, "Excuse me, Salah's leaving in January?" The Mohamed Salah of last season, the Mohamed Salah of the last fucking decade. We're just fine
He calls
with
this on
him.
himself. He calls this on himself, though. He
No,
calls this
I
on
know
himself.
that, but like
It's
my
horrible. It's
issue,
terrible. He should have the
my
biggest send
issue
off. Bear in mind, he had a crown. He had a throne on the pitch at Anfield for his announcement.
It isn't even fucking that. It isn't even fucking that, bro. It's the fact that motherfuckers are siding with this bald cunt over Mohamed Salah. I don't give a fuck that what he said was wrong because it was, and I don't care that he shouldn't have said it. He shouldn't have,
They're not
but
siding
he
with
did.
Slot. They're siding with the club. That's the difference.
Fuck
And
the
I agree
club.
with that bit.
Fuck the club. Fuck the club at this
But you
point. The
can't be
club.
player FC. You
The
can't
club.
be.
This isn't player FC. This is gross negligence by FSG. This is gross negligence to keep this man in charge. Lord knows what's happening behind the scenes. I don't know what the tactical conversations are. At this point, I don't think that we train. I don't think that we practice fucking anything because there is no consistency in any way, shape, or form that we play. I don't think that it's player FC. But if it was going to be player FC, the one player on the planet Earth of all the teams in the entire fucking continent of Europe would be Mohamed Salah, who's played virtually every single game for the last decade and holds pretty much every Premier League record for Liverpool. And if he had played this season the way he did last season, would finish with over 200 goals. To me, I think it's fucking insane. And I think that people have pigeonholed him and tried to blame him for the deficiencies in the offensive output of this team.
No, it's not. I don't see. This is why I don't believe in this blame stuff. Konate's had more. He's been rinsed more than Salah. Robbo's been rinsed more than Salah in the past 2 seasons. Gakpo is getting it heavy, heavy.
They ain't Salah. They ain't
No,
Salah.
they ain't Salah, but they're getting it more. And I go back to Salah's interview, right? At the beginning of the season when he's on the balcony and he says, I don't like to take things personally, Personally, the manager is never doing it personally.
He shouldn't have fucking
And he
said it.
said
He shouldn't have fucking said it.
But he did. So he knows it. He knows if a manager makes a decision because guess what? That is football. That is football. And
He
yes,
shouldn't have
he
said
has.
shit.
Listen. And guess what? If Salah was upset about not starting, I'd understand. It is Salah. Do you know what Salah's done for this club? Do you know what he's done in terms of goals and assists? No one would have believed it when he came into the club. No one would have believed it. But this is where I struggle with it. He is the epitome of Liverpool, not Slot, not the suits as Himothy keeps saying. Right? It's him. He's the personification at this moment in time, along with Virgil and stuff. But him. He can't do what he did because he's ruined everything. Because guess what? He shuts up and it doesn't work out. Slot goes. Yeah? Slot goes quickly because you're not getting the maximum of your best player. He comes out and does that. He
No, he's really
strengthens the
stupid.
position of Slot. And guess what?
He was
He
stupid.
lights a fire under this guy's belly. For the first time, he showed a bit of spine. Why did you do it? Why? Why did he do that? Because guess what? And I'll tell you why he did it. Because he's out for himself. Because he wants to move away. Because he can't stand not playing because of the type of person he is. But if he had just shut up and said, you know what? Let's just go on for another. All it needed, it could have been the Inter Milan game and he could have been gone. We could have lost the Inter Milan game and Slot could have been gone and we would have got what we wanted. But instead, he couldn't take it. And that's why, because he wasn't looking out for the benefits of Liverpool. He was looking out for the benefits of himself. And that's the biggest problem with the whole situation. That's why I say he brought it upon himself. Yes, the club has shit. Yes, it's gross negligence. I wanted them gone for ages. But you've just prolonged this system because now, guess what? it's lit a fire not only under the belly of Slot, but some of the players. And you saw it in yesterday's performance. You saw it because defensively, Joe Gomez is running out to crash in this, and Virgil van Dijk is finally engaging and blocking shots in front of him. And we've got Alisson having to come out and be like, yeah, you know what? He's made his bed. Like, he's going to have to suffer the consequences. They're all affected by it. It's not just him, because they want Slot. They want Salah.
I know it was stupid. I know it was stupid. But regardless, I mean, listen, if Mohamed Salah leaves and we get Antoine Semenyo, and all of a sudden we still look like fucking dick on the right wing, I'm gonna be sitting here saying the same shit.
But we probably will. But the problem is we didn't even allow that to happen because he was going to. Why could it? He was going to AFCON anyway.
I know it was dumb. I know it was dumb. I know. I mean, perhaps he really does want to leave. Perhaps he has zero faith in the manager at the. Listen, yes, there's probably information that we don't know about.
Obviously, there's loads of things that we're not privy to. There's loads of things before I head off. I need to go, but there's loads of things they're not privy to. There's loads of things that we're not aware of, right? And I get that, and that's why I'm never going to go and speculate. And there's probably more to it, right? But on the basis of it, irrespective of what's going on, yeah, you go and look at and you hear the best of him. Your Gerrard, your this, your that. Yes, Gerrard went and spoke about it and said, I get it. We need to get Salah back 100% because an informed Salah is the best thing Liverpool can have. He's going to be better than. Do you know what I mean? Flipping Semenyo, whoever comes in, he's going to be better than Elise. You're not going to be better than Salah. But the problem is that you never come out and you never go out into the public to do that, because what you have done is you have put yourself not only against the club, but it's a lot of fans as well that are Liverpool first, and rightfully so. Because what you've done now is say, oh, it's about yourself. And yes, even if Liverpool, and I disagree with the notion, because Timothy's saying that it's because he's getting sold. No, I don't think it's because he's getting sold. I believe that Salah wants to play. And the Sturridge said it yesterday. Sturridge said, I spoke to Salah. Salah wants to stay at Liverpool, but he wants to play. So that's the reason why Salah is going. Liverpool will not get rid of Salah, even from a commercial standpoint, if Salah wants to stay, because him just being in the club helps them sell more Adidas jerseys. He's an Adidas ambassador. Everyone wants to get Salah on their top. He wants to go and play football, which I understand, but it was 3 games. Like, you couldn't control yourself for a week.
Listen, it was stupid.
Fuck.
It was immature. It was dumb. But it is what it is. The cat's out the bag.
And now look, but ironically, do you know what's going to happen though? And this is the problem that Salah's in now. It's a lose-lose, because he's leaving, and he obviously doesn't want to leave, but he wants to play. But cool. If Semenyo comes in and does well, or Slot turns it around, then let's say Slot wins the Champions League, Mike. Imagine that happens. Then what?
No, I won't.
But then what? Then it will look like a masterclass from Slot. And guess what? He stays another season, because in 2 years he wins the Premier League and the Champions League. And people are not recognizing this. This is why I say to everyone, I'm like, guys, this is why he needed to shut up, because the manager was almost out. Everyone was turning. Gerrard was calling it. He said it's not a crisis 2 weeks ago. Yesterday he said, yeah, it's getting there. It's getting to a crisis. But what you've just done, you've lit in a fire under everyone's belly. The team, according to McManaman, he said, no, Liverpool are going to spend in January. They're going to get a centre-back, and I think they're going to get a winger. Watch them go and buy in the summer. And if Liverpool end up winning the damn Champions League,
it'll be really hard to celebrate it. It'll be really hard to celebrate it. Like, this is the problem. This is the problem. Like I can't celebrate anymore because I just, like, I have this lingering tumor, and that lingering tumor is Arnie. So how am I supposed to enjoy this nice day when every time I look at another person, I realize, hey, that guy's healthy and I have a fucking tumor in my brain and his name is Arnie.
Guess what?
Spot.
You get Make-A-Wish though, but you get Make-A-Wish. That's the problem. You've got a tumor, but the other person's going to work. You get to go and meet your favorite rapper.
Man, maybe, but I don't know, man. It's hard right now to be a Liverpool fan. It's hard to celebrate goals. It's hard to enjoy wins because you don't believe in any consistency of them. And, like, I'm not in a position this season where I should be talking about wins. I should be talking about what am I gonna win? Like, what competitions will I be winning? Because I just won the Premier League and I spent £500 million. Yeah.
By the way, I'm going to quote that. That's a hilarious quote. I shouldn't be talking about wins. I should be talking about what I'm going to win. That is the best quote. Big up, chat. Make sure we're smashing a like. Listen, me and Mike need to do more work, but it's been good. Timothy, I know I ruined your day, but have a good day anyway. Have a good day. He's my hater. He knows I've got an agenda, and I'm going to push the agenda. It is what it is.
That's all good. That's all good. Big up,
Smash
Jerry.
the like. If you hate I'm coming off stream now, Himothy. Smash his like. Big up chat. The chat's always popping off. See you guys in a bit.
Big up, Jerry. Oi. Tough time to be a Liverpool fan, you know? Not a lot to be excited about. And when you do get excited, you're like, you know, should I really be excited? Should I really be excited? It's like going home with a woman, but you have ED. Yeah, it's nice to bring a woman home, but I have erectile dysfunction. I don't have any Viagra on me. What's the point? You know? You know? It's just that simple. It's kind of like how I felt about Soboslai. It's like, yeah, I won this game. I get to bring her home, but I can't get it up. So what's the point? I need PEDs. What's the point? I'm all out. Script's all out. I can't get to the doctor till next week. Pharmacy can't fill my script. What am I supposed to do with her? You know? What am I supposed to do with her? That's kind of how I feel about that win. What am I supposed to do with this win? What am I supposed to do with this win? Seriously, what am I supposed to do? You know, because there's nothing that you can point to and say, hey, this is the consistency that we can take forward. I'm really nervous about Brighton, but I'm also not. I really am not nervous about Brighton. Can I be honest with you guys? When I used to watch Liverpool, in the first 15 minutes, I'd be like super anxious. And sometimes I'd even be like shaking because like I really need to see this team win. I'm nervous. Now when I watch Liverpool, it's just like a flat line of death. Like if I had a heart rate monitor, it would just be a flat line, you know, just like beep. Nothing. There are no ups and downs. The heart rate is never going up and down. It's always just flat. So what is there to get excited about? You know? I mean, hell, you can go look at my reaction to Szoboszlai scoring the goal. Go look. I did the watch along. You can watch my reaction. There was no reaction. And the reason why there was no reaction is because no matter how that game ended, the end for Liverpool of the season remains the same, and that is this.
No. We're completely fucked, We're completely fucked.
That's simple. That fucking simple, my G. And anyone who tries to tell you otherwise is out of their fucking mind. Anyone who tries to tell you otherwise is out of their mind. They are copium. They're copium. Copious amounts of copium. Bro, when he scored, here, hold on. You know what? Let me see if I can go. Let's play for the people. Let's go to my page. All right, let's watch it. Left side. Is it going to be saved? We'll see. I predict where he's going to shoot it because that is where he always shoots it. His left, not Jan's left. His left. He scores. Szoboszlai scores the penalty, and Liverpool take the lead. Wow! Don't I look so excited? Don't I just look so excited? Hold on. Hold on. Hold on. Let's go back to a reference here. Let's watch a different creator's reaction. We got Poussin.
Yes! Dominic Soboslai, let's go! Yes!
Yo, the difference is crazy. Oh my god, the difference is crazy. Oh my god. The difference there is crazy. Big up Hussam. Oh. Anyway. When people tell me that yesterday was a professional performance, this is my only response.
Would you mind loaning me some of your lipstick, Mom? Because I want to at least look pretty the next time you decide to f me.
Exactly. And the reason why is very simple.
Fucking shit! We're fucking shit! We're fucking shit! We're fucking shit!
We're fucking shit, dude. We're fucking shit. We are fucking shit. What are you going to do? What are you going to do? Anyway, 90 minutes live. Not much more to say. We pretty much covered everything. Big up to all you guys. Appreciate you hanging out. Smash a like, hit a subscribe. Do whatever you want. Don't care. Let's see the next time I'm back. Entitled fan. Okay. Sure. All good. I don't care if I'm entitled. I want my team to fucking win. Big up to everyone hanging out. We'll see the next time I'm back. I don't know. Maybe tomorrow. Maybe Friday. We'll see. We've already kind of dissected this game. There's nothing really more to talk about until we talk about the Brighton game. Yeah. But you know what? I might as well give you my thoughts on Brighton now. Liverpool at home to Brighton. I think at the end of the day, no matter how you cut the cookie, we are absolutely.
We're back!